It's Laura Eubanks of Design for Serenity, and we are here in Santee today to do the first maintenance on this beautiful garden that we installed approximately 1 year ago. And spoiler alert, I've already walked through and it looks so good. Remember the barrel colony that we did? And we had some lovely followers that donated a couple of agave angustifolia to the project. Something that I've learned since then is oftentimes with a more mature agave, if you dig it up, and replant it as a cutting, it can inspire it to bolt or to bloom out. So that's what happened. We're going to have to just get rid of this plant. But I don't know. I don't necessarily think that we need anything right there. It's not urgent. I'm really, really happy with how all of these barrels look. They haven't grown a whole bunch yet, but it has only been 12 months, and this is not an irrigated area of the yard. So these are reliant solely on rainwater, for sustenance. I'm super pleased. The crepe myrtle, I didn't know, me and trees. But the chamois beige is a winner, Look, you can't really see much detritus from the crepe myrtle unless you really, really look super close. So this is a real pretty tree, and it's providing some lovely shade in a very hot area of Santee, California. So winner. All right, then moving on inside. We took advantage of the shade that the crepe myrtle was going to provide to install some tapestry in this area, and boy, has it thrived. It looks fantastic. There's actually, the most detritus that I see is actually eucalyptus leaves, which I think are blowing in from probably that tree there. Holy mother, look at that thing. That's massive. That's got to be what, over 100 feet tall. Yeah, so, little eucalyptus leaves in here. I feel like we have the cotyledon run-a-muckus happening here. So we will either cut and reset some cotyledon, or we'll thin, depending on how it goes. Aloe, ferox looks great. This whole tapestry area here is wonderful. Our cactus, are throwing off some extraordinary flowers. This mangave, this is Mission to Mars, and it understood the assignment. It's gotten massive. So this feels a little extraneous right in here, so we'll probably edit that jade out and give this a little space. For fun, because there's not that much to do being the first maintenance, we are going to dig up all the aloe cameronii, cut and reset. This is a bush aloe. It tends to grow fast. Remember, we're only here once a year. So by cutting and resetting them, we slow the growth, and we also inspire these plants to turn red, red, red. This Aluaudia procera is fantastic. Look at the little euphorbia ready red. Isn't that awesome? It is just lit. Back here, everything looks fantastic. That stand of aloe vera, if I'm being really, really picky, I feel like it's a little overpowering. So we'll probably go ahead and edit a few pieces of that out. We'll leave the ones that are blooming. They're so pretty. But make that, just tighten that up and make that just a little bit smaller. Our client has done such a phenomenal job of attending to all of her plants. Look at this potted corner. These are plants that I planted in pots for her a year ago, and they look fantastic, don't they? Just fantastic. She's doing an exceptional job. I'm so pleased. The millii, this potted millii, she had this plant in a smaller pot, and it was a little neglected. And once we upplanted that into a larger pot, it thanked us by going off. And it is gorge. This Yucca rostrata is not gorge. This is one casualty. And I haven't lost a Yucca rostrata before, so I'm not exactly sure what's going on, but one thing that I can tell you that concerns us greatly, remember how I'm always telling you don't worry so much about the bottom leaves, but concern yourself with the terminal growth, with the new growth. And it's really yellow. See, look at that, just dead. Although if I pull back even further, it looks like I do get to some, you know, I mean, there's no rot. This is very firm to the touch. It's not rotten. So we will dig this plant out and take a look and see what's going on at the bottom. And, you know, I'm not completely ready to give up on this quite yet. We may be okay. All right, moving on. All of our, now this is an aloe striata, and it's never been one of my favorites, only because it's kind of difficult to clean at the base. It gets really ratty at the bottom, and you have to dig it out and cut it all up, and then the trunk's kind of thick and blah. But sometimes that's not the case. Sometimes you get lucky and you get one that doesn't do that. And really the flowers can't be beat. That's a really pretty flower on that plant.
The tapestry back here held up well.
Yes, Hannah says the tapestry in the back also held up well. I think I'm going to edit out this portulacaria though. That again feels just, it's just a little heavy. It's a little much.
You should move that cactus in the back there too.
And there's a small cactus in the back too that we need to move forward somewhere where it can be appreciated, at least until it gets bigger. There's another one back there too.
That looks great.
That looks okay.
It's in the sun.
And that Dazzlerian longissimum in front of it, we'll limb that up a little bit too. We'll limb up this Dazzlerian. Ooh, girl, look at this Echeveria. Happy, happy, happy. And this full sun tapestry, this portulacaria, we will get in and we'll open it up, lace it out. It's a little overwhelming. This yucca, this is, I think it's called Blue Boy. It was a new introduction, at least to me. And I love it, but it's kind of doing a weird leaning thing, and it's really, really loose too in the soil. So we might just be able to move some of these rocks forward to kind of brace it. It's not coming out. I mean, it's in there. But I think it might have just got a little top heavy and lost its way. I think it looks better like this rather than like that. So we'll see what can be done there. Oh my gosh, more Cameronii that we can dig out, cut and reset. All of the Aeonium sunbursts are looking fantastic. This Bacarnia recurvata looks great. The Millii look great.
Yeah, this Bacarnia hasn't been affected by, you should ask the people.
Yes, we'll show you around back. Something got after one of the Bacarnias in the back, and I have seen the same damage in the Bacarnia in my personal garden and in a couple of other gardens that we maintain.
An aloe.
And on a Dracaena Draco. We'll show you in a minute. I'll have Hannah remind me. Yeah, so again, with the portulacaria, I love this plant, but in smaller gardens, it does require some maintenance. It grows like hair. So this is another one that we will just judiciously kind of shrink. Now we get into kind of a shadier area, more protected area of the yard. We have a beautiful Alobanzii here that is thriving. I love this Aloe brevifolia down here. We did some smaller plantings in this area that are all thriving. Just beautiful. The fountain is great. More tapestry here. We were a little concerned because this is a really hot area of the yard, so we tried to work more with pocket gardening and with tougher plants, and we succeeded. You note how we did some cacti up on the top and just splashed some tapestry around the edges, and the plants that we chose clearly are thriving. It looks like we have some alomite here, Hannah, in this little guy, so we will extract this plant and dispose of it. We have plenty of things we can put in its place, that's for darn sure. More beautiful, aloe vera, a very common aloe, but can you beat the flower? I don't think so. Then over on this side, we kept it simple. We didn't do any tapestry. This is more of a dry xeriscape kind of a garden. We will review and look very closely at all of the aloes in this section too, to be sure that we aren't experiencing any mite. This Draco looks like it got a little stressed, but it seems to have bounced back. Look at the top growth. Just goalposts, right? So that tells me that, yeah, it might have been a little unhappy for a minute, but it's happy now. This Mangave, this one is Aztec King, and it looks like it's thrown off a baby, which is a few babies, Hannah says. So we'll get after that too and remove all the babies from around the mom. This little xeriscape cactus area in the back that is flanked by the rosemary and the giant eucalyptus I love. And look at the giant boulder. That came with the property. We didn't bring that in. But this, with a little bit of rubbling that we did to kind of delineate between the rose garden, it just works. I love it. This was another angustifolia that was gifted to us that has not bloomed out. I don't want to say it too loud because I don't want to give it any ideas. This is the same plant that we have out front with the tall bloom spot. Yay on this. This aloe looks great. I don't see any mite. Here's the Bicarnia. See where something on it? Just 888, but look, it did it and it moved on because this is the new growth. The new growth is fine. See that? So, if any of you have had any experience with this phenomenon, please let me know in the comments if you have identified what. I think it's an animal.
You'll have to do a walkabout.
Yes, next walkabout Wednesday, I'll show you mine too. All right, so that concludes our introduction, doesn't it? We will roll up our sleeves and get to work and just tighten all of this up. Okay, we have completed the first of what will be many annual maintenances in Santee. What a fun day. I had Hannah and Omar and Miguel and Greg and I, Torin. It was so funny because when we got here, my gosh, what are we even going to do? 5 hours later, plenty, it turns out. Everything was in excellent shape. But there was just that. There was a lot of shaping to do. Some little mini weeds to pull, some deadheading, some repositioning of some things, some digging out, resetting. Some things like some of the Portulacaria we removed altogether. And yeah, it just turned out to be a full day of fun. I'm so stunned and thrilled at how the millii are doing out here in Santee. Every single one of them is thriving, regardless of color. And all of our little sedums and our little tapestries all held together so beautifully. Look at this stand of Aeonium Sunburst. This is a plant that will tolerate the sun, but prefers some protection. And so in the afternoon, this whole bed here is in the shade. My client, one thing that did go sideways here, we had a split. Seeing the flesh of this cactus, probably this winter. Maybe, we had some heavy rains. It grew too fast and it split. So I just had her apply some glue to the wound to seal it, and it looks like that worked beautifully. And I don't see it, kind of like a windshield, if you don't get it fixed, it just keeps cracking. I don't see the cracks continuing. I think we're going to be just fine. I think that worked out swell. So yeah, not a whole lot to report, but you see how I kept it simple over here on the sunny side. I didn't overplant. I didn't do anything too soft or precious. And I kept all the soft, precious things over here in the shade. Heck yeah, that's the way to go. Get all of this beauty. Oh, and then out here, I know that aloe vera is common, but look at that. That yellow flower is so pretty. Goodness, I'm so glad that these mammillarias are doing well in this garden too. It's a lot of little one-off cactuses. I didn't use a lot of Crassula undulata in this yard, but where I did, it's really looking good. Just, this little bit of tapestry. I've got some little outcroppings of tapestry because I just wasn't sure, with this heat out here if it would thrive, but it is. Happy to report. I limbed up all the Dracaena Dracos. We did dig out this Yucca rostrata, and we did not find any evidence of anything. It didn't smell. The roots were healthy. It was quite, a little on the wet side. Well, wet's a strong word. It was moist. I hate that word too, I know, but it's what it was. And we decided that it might have just gotten a little shocky in the wintertime because there is no crown rot to report. So what we did was just gently replanted it, packed the dirt back around it, and we just said a prayer to the garden gods, and we're hopeful that this will make a full recovery. Look at all that. We thinned out that stand of aloe vera, took a few pieces off the sides because it was pretty aggressive. We limbed up all the dazzlerians, depupped all of the mangaves, sized all the Cameronii. Where there were 5, we put back 1. Just, you can tell where west is. Just look where the flowers are pointing. Isn't that funny? We didn't get to see them open up though, but wow, what a joy. What a joy. And then not a whole lot to report over here. We didn't have to do too much. We cleaned a little bit out around this aloe ferox because it looked a little crowded. And Hannah cleaned up this tapestry bit, thinned it out a little bit, but again, there wasn't a whole lot needed. Just happy plants. I'm just stunned too at how beautiful her potted succulents are. This Bicarnia, happy as a clam. This cactus, and the variegated aloe. This is a little dichotoma with a little cactus at the bottom. But this is what seals the show for me, is this Orgealis in the full sun in this pot. Look at that color, insane. Okay, seriously, I just continue to geek out here all day long. I'll show you where I was eating my lunch on this bench. And here was my view. Look at that. Not bad, right? Such a pleasure. Such a pleasure, and so exciting to come back and see these gardens grow and mature and come into themselves. This has been Laura Eubanks of Design for Serenity, reporting with our first maintenance in Santee. Thanks so much for following, guys, and we will see you tomorrow in Coronado.